is absolutely super duper easy. I can't get over just how easy it is. I have been itching to get back on. Yeah, we're waiting for a heretic to arrive, but I've got a plan. I need to go get my notes, and I need to go do the channel change-ins and the Discord link and stuff like that, and the thumbnail. So I'm gonna go do that. If you come on, don't leave. But you're not going to know that because you're not going to hear me. So let's just hope someone pops on whilst I'm out. Yeah. Hello, Michael. Hi. Yeah, you can't hear me because I wasn't actually at the computer at all. Kuba and that's not Michael. That's Mikhail. Mikhail den Otter. German by any chance? I happen to sprechen a little Deutsch myself. Yeah, I am here. I was just. Well, I'll explain in a second. Give me. I'm going to run away. 1 second. Good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. I'm back. I'm back. Hello. Right. Oh, Master's here. Oh, Master's here. Okay. Oh, Dutch. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Here we are. Let's take off this. Get some more light. Whoa. Light is on. That is bright for my eyes. I wish I could just tape it like that. I might actually tape that sucker on. How are we doing today, guys? What's going on? What's going on? I should probably start this friggin' stream sometime soon. Who do I have to smooch around here for a bit of tape? I'll screw it. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to begin. It's fine. Right. So, been dying to get on stream today. Itching to get on stream, but I feel like I need to get paint on model right away. I want to show you a couple of things first. This name. Monarchier 01, right? So, I don't have a lot of Votan, but I like the idea of the Robo-Men, right? And on Reddit, this Monarchier guy has swapped out Votan heads for BBs, right? So I just wanted to get a bit of test. Now, I happen to have some BBs. These are 6mm BBs, right? And I also happen to have a Votan model, which was the Mini of the Month, without its head, because I didn't like the head. And then watch what happens when you take one of those BBs and you use it on the model. What are they half-kin? Half-kin? Is that the name of the robots? I forget. I need to really get this lid back on. Okay, look what happens when I just pop this BB in. Right? Robot head. It's perfect. So now I'm going to try my regular plastic glue on this, which is this one, the Revel glue. This plastic glue is just the go-to. It's just absolutely brilliant. And I've got a little pro tip for you as well. Have a blob of blue tack handy. Hang on. Have a blob of blue tack handy. And then when you open your glue, yam a sewing needle down the end. It will stop glue from drying in the pipe. You just remove that. And the reason you have the blue tack is so you know exactly where that sucker is. Because if you just put it on your desk, like I said before, 3 a.m, you're going to knock it over and then you've got a needle kicking around your room and you have no idea where. So let's give it a go with this BB. I wonder if this will stick. We'll soon know. So I'm just going to give it a generous dollop in the bottom there. I'm just going to pop the BB in. And I reckon, I don't know, it depends on the plastic of the BB, I guess, but I'll pop that in. And then we'll just wait and see on that. And if it does work, then I've got robot heads. I didn't think it would look so good, but it does. Right, so that's now drying. Let's pop him there. We need to paint a little bit, and then if the guys come on who were on yesterday, I have taken notes on their pictures that they put on Discord. So if they do pop on, we can chat about that. But in the meantime, I figure we're just going to paint. Oh, wait, I have something else to do as well. Well, that's kind of tied to the subject of... The theme is kind of models that have beaten me. But I'm not going to reveal those just yet, unless you really want me to. You can just tell me to do it if you want me to do it. But in light of not having that, or not doing that, I'm just going to start painting, continue painting. So let's move these suckers. There we go. Where are we? We're on this guy. So we need Uriel yellow. And I should just crack on with some nifty speed. We don't need a perfect brush for this. More to the point, I just want to get cracking. I've been hankering to get on all day, and now I can be on, and I can be on if I want to till midnight, which is amazing. If I do feel the need. That's a lot of yellow. I'm not going to need that much yellow. I'm going to immediately take some of that back. I'm not going to need all that. No sense in wasting this stuff. Right, there we go. So if you want to just painting my walls, if you want to ask me any questions, now's the time to fire some off so I don't just slowly die in the chat. But you don't have to. No real pressure. Someone will, so don't feel you have to pipe up for the sake of it. This brush is really big for what I'm trying to do here, but well, let's just accept that challenge of too big a brush. Yeah, I've been itching to get on. I've actually planned today out. I've got some stuff to... I'm going the wrong way on that angle. That is too clean. That is way too clean. Okay, we're going to have to get creative with that. I'll leave some off that one deliberately. And then off this one. And that might just balance out a little bit. That's quite a lot of paint I've applied there. So that is quite a large amount. But it should be alright. There's a tiny bit of blue on there I want to keep. So I'm just going to patchy put this on. How's painting progress? Master, I've found a way, bud. Streaming on my phone, pure fluke, and painting my models, it gives me RC vibes. With that, I can just sit and do this. It turns out I can paint and talk, which is nice, and it's on a live stream as well, so I get a bit of convo. So, because I don't think I'm going to paint on my own anymore. I think I'm going to only paint on live streams. It's just nice to have a bit of chit chat as well, because with YouTube, man, I just keep getting these awful AI ads
And I'm so tired of them, and I'm so tired of jumping from streaming services, buying one for a month, watching a bit, and then it not being very good. And so I'm just doing it this way, and making through pure fluke, like loads of things had to coincide and be discovered just by accident. It's looking a little bit mangy. That is. It will clean up okay. There's just this perfect storm of flukes, and I found something that I really get a kick out of. So this will be my painting entertainment. Essentially, me chatting to myself and you guys is my painting entertainment. I even went to the Games Workshop yesterday. I can't believe it's only yesterday that I did that. It feels like it was ages ago. So again, little token. Now this yellow looks a little bit defeated, but it will build up, and other yellows are going on, so it won't look, hopefully it won't look so mangy given enough yellow going on. But luckily it's not a lot of big surfaces. But Master, how are you doing, man? How's life treating you? What's going on there? How are you doing, bud? I think I'm going to deposit this brush in there and get a slightly slimmer one. Yeah, so I've got the two other Ravagers, and I've also got a shed load of models lying around now. I'm super curious about that ball bearing. Chilling? Yeah, just chilling in general. Be nice to be able to do that. I have not been chilling myself today. I have been full steam ahead parenting mode. Trying to be one of those good parents. Buying a car. Ooh, why would you need... Why? First of all, why do you need a car? What is it that about having a car that would help you? And why a Tesla? Why a Tesla? Why is that? I'm curious. Some campaigns. Is there government subsidies for buying electric? Because I know Norway does have that. Does Denmark have anything like that? Like if you buy electric, they like you get discounts of a sort. It might be. I reckon it is. Yeah, I reckon there's cash available. Am I right or am I wrong? This is definitely the better brush. This is the brush I should have started with. I'm just going to go back on these and redo a little bit of this. I say whilst I immediately fluff that bit, but currently driving per day 255 kilometers per day. That feels, I mean, to any American that's nothing, but to me that kind of feels like an awful lot. Oh, okay. Well, maybe you do need a car. Maybe if you're sitting in a car for that amount of distance every day, maybe you want something super comfy, you know? It is a lot. It does feel like an awful lot. Yeah, it does feel like an awful lot of driving. Yeah, that's pretty grotesque. 3 hours commute round trip. That is high. So, yeah, that is really high. We had some people leave the stream, so obviously they're heretics. So, I have to go find them and murder them. Appreciate you chatting, Master. You are not to be murdered, which must be, you know, some reward to you. Just know that you will not be murdered unless it's accidental. Maybe whilst I'm flailing a sledgehammer around my head and you accidentally get in the way. You know, I can't help it if you're collateral damage, but, you know, on the plus side, you won't have to do that commute anymore if I brain you with a sledge by accident. Okay, always been your dream car. Well, then it sounds like that's the way to go, buddy. Don't you think? I feel like it's the way for you. That's the right move. Especially if it's your dream car. I feel like that has to happen, no? Quite comfortably with a loan? Well, as long as the loan doesn't have extortionate repayment rates, why not do it? Because, you know, you're not getting those 3 hours back every day, so you might as well sit in something that's, like, really your cup of tea. Do you know what I mean? It just feels like maybe that's the right way to go about it. I just feel like that's maybe the way to go. I don't know much about cars. I don't really care for cars. I have my reasons, but I never have any interest in driving. I might have to ferry the family around, but I have no personal desire to drive whatsoever. None whatsoever. There's a rather cryptic story behind that for another time, because I don't want to put the stream on a downer. But yeah, cars, I'm not a fan. Not a fan of bad driving. Not a fan of cars in general. But if ever Tesla's finally figure out the whole self-driving thing, I wonder if it would apply to their cars. Are Teslas self-driving or have autopilot or auto assist? I feel like they do have those gimmicky bits on them. I'm kind of covering over a little bit of the edge highlighting I did yesterday, but I think it's alright. So I don't need it. Like, I have a car that I've paid off with cash already, so I only pay fuel, maintenance. Well, that's a different factor. I mean, do you want to increase your outgoings, or is the car you've got just fine to run into the ground, you know? Do you really need... Well, you don't really need a new car if you paid off a car, let's be honest. It's a question of, do you want one? That's the crux of it. And I think there's a case to be made if you want something. It's a toughie. It's a toughie to buy or not to buy. You say you can comfortably afford it with a loan, but you do have to take a loan. I mean, what's wrong with your current car? If you don't mind me asking, what's wrong with that? Could that not just be okay? Yeah, riding a cool car. I think that might be the swing, because $255 a day, 5 days a week, it's a lot of time in a car, and if you can make that experience better, then maybe it's worth the investment for your personal well-being, you know? I think maybe I think if I was making the purchase, I might be leaning that way. It's you saying can comfortably afford it that swung me a little bit. If I'm saying I can comfortably afford something, then I feel like that's the way to go. I feel like we're onto something there. I know it looks shoddy at the moment, but don't worry, some more yellows on this and it really comes up a real treat. You just stay with the current one and save for the loan and stuff. There'd be nothing wrong with that. No, there would be nothing wrong with that. Just because you have the cash doesn't mean you necessarily have to spend it. But it's just the dilemma of to or not, you know? Depends what else you have going on, I guess. Or if you want to save up for something else, or something that you don't know that you want yet, you know? It's a bit of a toughie. Right, I need to try and get this similar but not the same is the goal. Similar, not the same. So I just put on a dab here. I don't want to be doing too much. But again, I don't want to be super careful about it, because alien, you know, it's not super neat. Yeah, it's a toughie. This is still a little bit muckers. Payment per month would be quite cheap for the car. Actually, the insurance would be on the other hand. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, car insurance tends to penalise younger drivers because they think you're going to be reckless. So that's inevitable. You're gonna get punished on insurance unless you can like kind of get it on yours and your parents' insurance. That was certainly a thing in the UK. I don't know if that's a thing for you, but that might be something you might be able to get if it's like shared insurance and your parents are willing and it's a thing where you live. Could be that. Right, so that was easily done. Now it's just fingers and these talons and the tail. Well, it's actually quite a lot of stuff still. But if we just get in here and do this. I feel like I need to do something really difficult in a minute to kind of... This is like getting warmed up, but I feel like I need to do some difficult edge highlighting somewhere soon. Just to get... Alright, yeah, I'll take some context. Sure, yeah, I'll take some context. That's pretty difficult in there. That little armor plate in there is pretty difficult to get. But I got it though. So now we go on this one. And now I'm using 4 colours. I want to leave not necessarily 30%, but about 20-25% of the original so that I have some space between the colours. But I think going 4 yellows will be delicious in the end, providing I don't paint over too much of the previous. But I think it will actually look really good. I think for these streams, I think I'm going to be doing assembly off stream. I think assembling models is a different creature to painting on stream. I think people might not necessarily be interested in me just assembling models, because it is very much rinse and repeat. But maybe, I don't know. Actually, I'm now second guessing that. When Master gives me the context, I will belittle him for his choices. Yeah. Okay, that's that. These little talons here just need a smidge. I'm pretty sure one layer's gonna disappear because they're not the biggest bits of... Doing all of these specifically is not the way to go. Like, if you cover some of them with the flesh coat, I just leave them, because you don't want to be doing all of them. I'm not a fan of that. So you'll see in some places these talons are yellow, and some places they won't be. Campaign, you price the car, you're trading in, and you get a bonus of euro price reduction on the car. Okay, so you're trading your car. What's your car value? How much comes off? You said it's paid off, so part of me feels like either you're minted or it's a cheap car. Could go either way. Not sure. I'm going to go with that it's a cheap car. Nothing personal to your earning abilities, Master. That's just my. That's my guess. That's my wager. If I was putting money on it, that's what I'd guess. Could be wrong though, given the price of the car you're mentioning. Whoop. Alright, still waiting on the stuff. Plus, Master, you son of a gun. You haven't friggin' pressed the goddamn like button, have you, Master? Hello? Can you get me off 0, please? If you'd be so kind as to just move that mouse ever so slightly for my benefit. I'd really appreciate it, you know. That would be real nice if you could do that. Or do I have to? Or do you need me to jump through a hoop for it? I can do something for that. Like, what do I need to do? You want me to paint something super difficult, and if I get it right, that's what I was doing yesterday. I was doing little. Do you know what? Fine. Okay, fine. Let's do something difficult. I'll get a brush. Thanks for the like. Let's do something difficult. Okay, here we go. We got some eyes on this guy. We're going to paint his eyes, and if I get them right first time, give me a like. If I don't, you can just hurl abuse at me in chat. That's fine. So I'm going to go Gauze Blaster Green. We've discovered that Gauze Blaster Green then washed over with this. Griffin Charger Grey. Looks amazing. So I'm going to do the eyes first time. I'm using my synthetic brush. And we're going to have a go. We give in buy the car and pay 8,700. So in total for the campaign they would give you... I mean... Yeah. And I already rode 40k kilometers since I bought it. So you're telling me that you've already bought the car? I don't understand. Or it's only got 40... I mean, it's based on literally what you're saying. Right, let's see. If I can just nail this first time, we can... I think I can get like that one person. Don't you leave Horus Heresy! Let's see if I can do it first time. Oh, keep talking whilst I do it. Don't give me that like. I fluffed it. Don't give it. I fluffed it. You see that bleed? Don't do it. I don't deserve it. Not this time. No, don't deserve it. I'm just going to completely fill that in. Let's just wash this brush and take some of that off. They just left. Yeah, I don't blame you. I screwed it, didn't I? I totally screwed it. But if I just do that, just clean it off ever so slightly. And then I do have a finer detail brush than this. Let's just do that. That will be okay. Just, you know what? I'm gonna go and give it another go. I feel like I can save this if I just do it this way and just a dab a do just to build up that bit, and I'll do the same here. Just a dab. That's what I should have done first time round. Ever so slightly got a bit on the cone. So let's just clean that ever so slightly. And then anything else the ink will hide. Alright, on you go. Can we have 0% interest first for years and then set interest? Okay. I mean, not a numbers guy, but it sounds alright to me. Doesn't sound like a major issue. Sounds like you can afford it. I think it's going to be alright, frankly. Doesn't sound like there's going to be any problems with that. Just go for it, Master. Why not? I mean, like, it kind of feels like you've already decided. I'm getting that vibe that you've already decided. You've already made up your mind. I kind of get that impression ever so slightly. Can I be right? I think I'm right on that one. Right, now that we did those eyes, we'll wait for those to dry and then we can go back to those. But so what we've got so far, we've got the Votan head, the, what the hell was it that I just did? The eyes on the Iron Warrior. This is quite a thick coat of yellow I'm putting on here. I don't think I need to go that much. Well, we have done. The brush is a little wet as well, which is not a good thing to be doing, should I say. But let's just do this instead. Just there. And there. We're not going to get 4 layers of yellow on this, but we can just give the illusion of it. But let's just ever so slightly. Why does that look so good already? It's only the one yellow. I mean, when you put it like that, that feels like a lot. But then again, it's, I mean, what's the percentage of the time you're driving the thing, you know? If you're in there for like a long time, do you think you're going to be in the job for 4 years? You know, because what happens if you buy the car and then your commute drops off to nothing and you've got this car that you're hardly using? How stable is the job, you know? That's another factor that you need to consider. And also getting laid off, you got to worry about that as well if you're going to financially commit for a few years. It's not a simple answer, is it? It's not an easy black and white answer on that one. Oh, hey Master as well, side note, do you have either Elite Dangerous Elite Dangerous or No Man's Sky, or ideally both? Do you happen to have those? I will explain once you've given me your answer. Just this underside here. And then just a little tickle taste there. Alright, underside of these as well, just ever so slightly. You're not going to see that really. And then just these claws, just these 2 claws here, but not the third, not the thumb. Oh, they've already got a coat, so I'm good. Just, oh, I did say underside, didn't I? Okay, there we go. So we've got this extra yellow kicking about. I should probably use that somehow. So what I will do is I will crack out one of the models that I've defeated me. They haven't been on yet, the guys. So this is one of the models that's defeated me. I was painting my Orc Killer can, and I got stuck. I didn't know what to do with the weathering, or how what I could do with it. You can see this arm got replaced and put on, but I don't know where to go with that. But I do have this yellow, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the yellow on the palette, what I've got left, and I'm just going to touch this up. I'm just going to try and bring this somehow into something that I like. I'm just going to do some bits, slightly different yellow. Well, I mean, how much do you trust them with the job at the end? If you trust them to follow through on that, then why not? You know, why not do it? But if you don't, then yeah, it's a question of how much do you trust them, really. They might just screw you over, but I mean, they might not. What are your thoughts? What's the vibe? Do you feel like there's a job at the end for you? That yellow is nice. It's really brought that mucky yellow up. I guess I might just do in here as well. Weathering is quite difficult, but the good thing with orcs is that you can literally paint anything on them, and it's just part of it. You don't have to go any different on it. You can just go. They can all be unique. They can all be bonkers, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, well, I mean, Master, that sounds great. Why? Yeah, just do it. It sounds great. Sounds like you're already going great guns. There we go. So at least this yellow is not wasted. I need to figure out something. I need to do something with this guy. I don't know. I feel like it's too clean at the moment. I need to... But anyway, yeah, it's one of the models that beat me. If they come on, I'll show it again. But now that yellow's utilised, let's pop that one on there. You can go on the Susan if you're being done. I ain't doing anything on you yet, so you can step aside. Yeah, I think you have already decided. I do get that impression. Right, we're going to look at this guy. So we've got the halo. We should probably slap some more gold on that, and I might highlight the top. From what I can tell, I've done the off black on the top, but you can hardly see it. So let's get a bit of gold on there, and then let's just grey up the black a bit, and then go from there. So a bit of gold. You have Elite Dangerous, great. Schmitz's got 100 hours, so I don't know how many hours you've got. I don't know how to fly. Vic was the other person we were chatting about it, and he can. Well, you don't have to buy it just for our sake. If it gets established and we are playing it, then maybe buy it. But until then, I wouldn't, if that makes sense. Because they were supposed to meet me online yesterday, but they weren't there, so it's a bit hit and miss at the moment. But if it does come together, it'd be pretty cool. Like, because we were talking about a game that we could just hop on, hop off with. Did I have that in shot? I don't know if I did. So that's the dilemma. But Elite Dangerous, how many hours? Personally, I prefer No Man's to Elite Dangerous, but in the interest of being fair, there we go, just top up that gold, clean it up a little bit. Right, we need to do that Gorget. Gorget, is that what it's called? Gorget? I think it's called that. So let's just clean that up whilst we're here. Oh, it's got little... Well, I'm glad I did clean it up, because I didn't even see those little recesses. So it's a good job I wasn't putting on a thick coat there. I think that definitely stays now that I can see those little bits come out. I think that looks quite cool. Yeah, I'm going to leave the gold. That's fine. I am waiting on a list for student accommodation in the city that I work. Now I would eat another big chunk of my paycheck, but I would have like 3 to 6 minute bike ride. 3 to 6 minute bike ride kind of negates the car, no? Yeah, so you're kind of torn between apartment and car now. That does throw a potential spanner in the works on the level of complexity that you might be facing. 3 to 6 minute commute does sound a lot better. You would have that 400 plus a month freed up as well, but then that would contribute towards the rent. So basically rent minus that 400 and something, which one's more viable, you know? I think I'm going to leave the ribs. I quite like it. Yeah. Arcane, thank you for arriving. If you could be so kind as to not commit heresy and just hit that like for me, old buddy, old pal. If you could just I know you've got to move the mouse a fraction of an inch, but if you could just do that for me, that'd be great. Master, which one do you think? Which way are you going on that one? Which way are you leaning? I don't know. Thank you, Arcane. Thank you. Right, we're going to go do some edge highlighting now. I just outright asked for that like then. I didn't even do anything to earn it. So I kind of feel like a little bit of a shams. I should have done something. How much black do we need? let's start with a little bit and then go in. You're not missed too much, to be honest. Oh, you need to go on the Susan. On you go. We've just been talking about cars and commutes. Nothing terribly exciting, but Master's got a little bit of a pickle on his hands with a financial decision, and we're just talking through pros and cons. I'm now leaning apartment, and I'm just working on this beautiful guy. I don't know if you were here at the end, weren't you, Arcane? I did look through Discord at the guys' photos. I've made some notes, and so yeah, if it comes up, okay, you talk to loads of people. I'm sure you've definitely talked to people smarter than me. Electric bike is a good move for sure. Yeah, you were, Arcane. I appreciate that. Were you just like pottering about in the background, and then you had me in the background? I'd really like to think that me being on is good background viewing. That's my goal. I'd like to be background viewing, just like have on in the background, and occasionally fire a question. This guy is he's just beautiful. Right, so now we check up here and see, when I put this black on, does it go solid black, or is there a lightness to it? It does have a lightness to it. So yeah, I've covered up that patch, but now I've got a different coat of black on there, so I need to add a little yellow. And for the record, I'm going for phalanx, if I mention it. That's nice that it's nice that you choose to spend the time here with me as well, actually. I really like that, so that is very much appreciated. Thank you. So I've just mixed in a smidge of phalanx yellow, and I'm going to recoat this top, but I don't mind if it goes a bit patchy. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see. So I don't know how well the camera picks that up, but that is just ever so slightly lighter than black, and I'm just going to go in and patch that, and then what I'll do is I'll edge highlight that with maybe I need a drink, maybe I need a cup of coffee. I don't feel the need to do all of that actually, but I'll just do that bit, and where the gold has bled over there. Oh, I'm not even on camera. Maybe I should just turn this a little bit more. Maybe I'm being a bit amateur in my angles. There we go. But yeah, Arcanite, yesterday was great, wasn't it? What a friggin' amazing stream. I got a real kick of that out of that. I couldn't wait to get on today. I was dying to get. How's life in Finland going? Job market? No, it's not. It's not very good. No, job market isn't very good in Finland. There are certain jobs that are okay, like if you're going tech and you're fluent in Finnish. But yeah, it did. Loads of people showed up. It was a real, because we did 4 hours in the end, didn't we? It was just such a. I really enjoyed it. I woke up. I went to bed yesterday feeling amazing, and then there was a big bump on analytics when I woke up in the night, and I was like, "Oh, that's something other than normal." Yeah, I agreed. I think like times are a little bit tough for some people, so you should help them when you can. But I mean, we're not a rich family, but when friends and family ask to borrow, we tend to lend. I know there's the saying, neither lender nor borrower be, but sometimes you do have to help them out if they're like really, really hurting. So I've now put my finger on that top bit, but it hasn't seemed to mess it up. I know you can't really see that, but that is ever so slightly lighter than black. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a little bit of more phalanx and do edge highlighting. So let's see if I can do this. The Games Workshop staff told me about adding yellow to the black. Now that is definitely just yellow. That's not black at all. That doesn't look right. I don't know if you can see that. It's just there. I'm going to put some more black back in it. See how that looks. I mean, if it's just edge highlighting and I'm good with the edge highlights, it should be fine. Alright, here we go. Let's give it a go. Yeah, man. Well, yeah, if you can avoid it or just know that Oni is gone. What's Oni? O-N-E-Y. Oni NG, the animation YouTube channel? Is that what you're thinking of? Here we go, edge highlights. Keep them clean. Oh, look at that treat. That has gone on just fine. Oh, money. And then this one. Oh, there we go. Oh, there's a load of gold spump in there. So what I'm going to do is forget the highlight on that bit and just cover up the gold, as I have the lighter grey on my brush. I think I'm going to try and do this entire top bit. Can you see those highlights coming in? It's a bit hard, grey on black, but they are going on. And so far they look pretty neat. But this, I mean, it's quite a harsh edge. Like, it's quite a heavy edge, this edge. So, I mean, it's quite easy to do. The tough ones are going to be on the top, which I'm going to tackle next. There we go. Let's do these now. So we're going to go in here and we're going to go like this, and then this one. That one's not right, but it's okay. I should have turned it around. We're going to go there and there, and then this bit. There we go, and then just this bit, and then just a little bit on top of there, a little bit on top of there. Can you see those? It does look a little yellowy, doesn't it? It does look a little yellowy. I think I've gone for the wrong yellow to bring this up, but I'm going to commit to it because I've already started doing the edge highlights on this bit. There we go. The good thing about it being really subtle is if it messes up, you don't see it too much. But you got to practice these edge highlights, that's for sure. Ooh. Can you see that panel? If I hold that there, yeah, you can see it. It's a little bit squiffy, ever so slightly, but luckily it's subtle enough that I wouldn't quibble over that. An attempt was made. Just on there. Bump. Bump. I think it's a little bit too yellowy, but at the same time, as I said, we're committed. I think it's alright. I'm going to go this edge. Oh, that's a bit thick. That's a bit squiffy. Alright, fine. And then this edge here. And then this edge already has, but I'm just going to give it a little top up. And then we need to do this kind of line, but I've got the silver from the vents. So what I'll do is I'll put in a smidge there, just there, and a smidge there. And I might try this middle run. Let's just put a little bit on. Maybe if I just get rid of that silver a little bit. Yeah, let's just leave it like that. Okay, I feel like that's... hang on, this little edge here. So this highlighting is gonna be slightly different shades over the course of his whole body. The gorget, the front, we can do that as well. We can do that bit too. Let's see if we can't touch up these bolts. So here we go. This is super. Keep talking. Just a little smidge on each of those, so it's not gold instead. Smidge, 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 and then the edge around the lip. I wonder if I can do this. This is going to be a bit fiddly. Hopefully I don't paint the face. There we go. I'm happy with that. That will just be... Well, would you look at that? Yeah, I feel like the bolts could have a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, I think that's good. Right, let's get a little ink on it as well. Let's get a little null oil on that bit, on the gold, and bring that down whilst we're here. And then we'll see what we're dealing with once that's dried. Null oil, where are you hiding, my little buddy, old pal? Agrax, sepia. Where's my null oil? There you are. But yeah, and like, again, with the stream yesterday, I was feeling great, but it's not about beating yesterday's stream. It's about that 0 to 3 active chats. Arcane, that's the Goldilocks, isn't it? It's that number we first discussed that you need to hit. It's not about beating the previous one. It's about not being on your own. That's the difference. Right, let's put the ink on here. This will just bring the colour down a bit. Just bring that shine down a little bit and add a little bit of texture. There we go. You gotta love this chaplain. And this is why I kind of start with the faces nowadays. Like, if you get that right, it just kind of spurs you on. Just spurs you on to do better, I find. But this guy's just ongoing. But I think if we paint as we go and get the bits as far up to speed as we can. What a nice looking guy. Let's just do the back. There we go. And then I'll do the ribs, bring those down. I don't know about the centerpiece yet. I think that might be different. I think I might do something different with that. I haven't quite decided where to go with that. It's all still very up in the air with this guy. I don't know how I'm going to go about it. So for now, I think that's pretty good. Because you could argue that whole chest piece now is done, and in the back is just vents. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squidge in. There's clearly some silver gone in there, but I'm just going to squidge in a bit of null oil. And yeah, I know I went over the centre bit and that was grey. I did kind of accidentally do it, but then I just committed to going in there. So we'll just leave that like that. Dirty vents. I don't think it needs to be super light. What a little treat he is. And you know what, as I did this extra gold, because I had a little bit of extra gold on my palette, I'm gonna ink this now, and then maybe that will encourage us to see what we want to go with that. But I realised I've got another one of these shields. I've got like the starter box with the Marine who's holding the pistol, the captain or something, and he's holding the shield. And I happen to have a spare one of those because I messed up the spray painting and put too much paint in the eye socket with the spray. So I've essentially got another shield. So I'm thinking, worst comes to worst, if I don't get the Terminator Assault Marines box, I'm going to kit bash my own. I'm sure I can find some hammers and enough shields kicking around to figure something out. Yeah, and all that is just gold and null oil. Don't know about the colours of the shoulders. There's a lot of gold on here that I haven't done, but like we just picked up the head and started with that. So, where are we at now? What should we go with? Should we try the ball bearing? Let's try the ball bearing. Let's see if that's glued in. So, can I knock this out? Can I take this out? It has glued. So there you go. Monarchia 01 was right on the money with half-kin heads. Just use a 6mm BB, and if you use plastic, Revel glue will bond with the plastic. So now I really want to paint that. Now that's appealing to me. So because that bobblehead is just going to be yellow with a wash over, and that's all you need. Totally pleased with that. Now I've got a use for those 2000 BBs. I've got no shortage of heads for Votan now. Okay, so what should we pick up next? Let's go for these eyes. Let's get some grey ink in those. Yeah, I went for the shield. I think you can have him Stormbolter instead of a shield, but didn't know about the Assault Marines at that point, so I was just like, I want to have someone with a shield and be close combating. Yeah, BB heads. Yeah, Monarchia's idea, because you don't get enough robot heads, and I don't like these heads, because you can... What I'm going to do is I'm not going to paint this visor. I'm going to use that little dot as the view bit and have that just as yellow and kind of make it look like it's an eye. But in future, I am definitely going to... I kind of feel like carving out this guy's head and putting a BB in, but I don't think I'd get a clean edge around the armor. So if I did that, it could go catastrophically wrong. But it is a free model, so I'm kind of on the fence. The head's already in and it's a closed helm, so I think I'm going to leave it. But I think that looks good. I think a case could be made for that completely. So thank you, Monarch here. Thank you very much. Right, Griff Charger. And then we'll do the next yellow on the armor, I reckon. Let's just pop this in the eyes. That's too much. Let's just get you in. One. Oh, does it even need any more? It just totally works. And that Gauze Blaster I put in really poorly as well. Like, it was a bit of a slapdash job. But that ink really does just bring it out. I mean, you could put a touch in there, a touch more in there, but you don't have to. That would be fine. Well, there we go. Iron Warrior Eyes, easy. Gauze Blaster Blue. Is it blue? Gauze Blaster Blue. Gauze Blaster Green. My bad. Sorry, it's Gauze Blaster Green. That's the one. Okay, next yellow. So we went Uriel. Now we're on Flash Gits. So I need even less this time. Boop. Not even. Oh, that's a lot yellow. That's going to be. Right, here we go. So again, leaving about 25% of the previous. I shouldn't be using this big naff brush to do it, but I do like a challenge. On we go. Zam, zam, zam. What am I doing to myself? Don't be an idiot. Just use a smaller brush. There we go. But can you see that these... is it showing that these brushes are all curled at the end? These natural brushes, man, they just curl up. And apparently it's the synthetic ones that do more, but I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing them. I'm not seeing the one I've bought curling up at the end yet. But these ones, easily. I don't know how I'm going to get 2 more yellows on this. I might have to edge highlight with the Dawn rather than go Dawn and then white. There we go. It'd be nice to get a big nid. Kind of want to work on a bigger model. I do have ones that I need to finish. But, I don't know. I'm just happy that I'm painting, frankly. Maybe I'm just not overly concerned what. It's just nice that I'm looking through the tubs and thinking, oh, what one can I paint next? What can I do work on the stream? And like, I'm already making way more progress on my painting than if I was just on my own. The fact that I can do it on here as well, it's just absolutely lovely. So I don't want to do too much covering of the other ones, but that's pretty tasty. So just smidges now. Let's start here. Just bring this up. It really does, yeah. On every occasion now with the streaming, I've come back in the next day and picked up the model and been like, oh yeah, that got painted. So it's really nice that you can feel like that. But there is like a critical mass. If I'm talking constantly, it works. But if I become self-aware, self-conscious, and I start thinking, oh, I'm just talking to myself here a little bit, then you start to kind of become very aware of things, if that makes sense. I don't know what's going on here, but there's something about this I don't like. Something about this bit I don't like, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think it's maybe because I'm not going to the edge. I've got to decide where that edge is, and I guess it's there. But there's something about that bit that I'm not liking. I think the edge highlighting will save it, but there's something smelling a bit off there. There we go. Oop. So I'm kind of going over a little bit of these Gauze Blaster highlights, but that's to be expected. And if they merge together a little bit, I'm all right with that. And then I feel like I can pick up the pace with this a little bit. Because what, we were on 4 hours yesterday. Did I paint anything else other than the Ravager yesterday? I think I got sidetracked chatting. I might have talking about carrots. I'm not sure actually. Yeah, I think it was too. Yeah, I think it was too. Because we were still trying to figure out about the flesh, were we? We were trying to figure something out, I think. I was a little bit indecisive on something. My NID's colour scheme does vary a little bit each time. I don't tend to look at the old ones to do the new ones, because I do I do worry a little bit. You know what, I might need to get a drink in a minute. Because I don't want them to. I want them to be similar but not the same, because they are like aliens, and they are like, there will be genetic slight differences. Yeah, there's something about this guy. It's not hitting right yet. Something smells odd, a little bit off. Maybe it's that extra yellow. I don't know. Maybe I'm putting too much of this yellow on. Something's not right. Maybe it's just because it's not finished, but something is amiss. I don't know what that feeling is, but something doesn't feel quite right yet. Not sure what that is, but I say we push on and just get the yellow on, and then I do think this will end up with dawn yellow and then white highlights. I do think it will go that way. That's where I think we're going to go. Oop. Do I need to worry about the underside of the head? I guess I could put a little bit in there. I mean, as I remembered it, you know. Okay, tail on this side, just needs a couple of bits. And then these little sticky up bits, and then we're just talons and chest. Oh, there's also these face. I think it's a case of you go through the process. I think we will get there with it. I think that it was only half done when I started to get that feeling, and already I'm not feeling as acutely aware of it now. So I think it was just because half of the back was done and it was still quite early on, so there was enough of the old bit to make me second guess. I think that's what I was experiencing there. That's what I think that was. Those bits I really love. See that bit of the underneath the arm, those little spikes? When putting the yellow on there, it really jumped out. I like that. I like that I got one of those. And then some of them are the blue. But it really brings out that arm. Okay, just these guys. Thanks. I think it's pretty nice. And just think, we've still got a lot more yellow to go on, but the shell, it really is like the flesh is good, but it really is the shell that brings it out. It really is that I don't even feel like I need to be that careful with these bits. I just need to bring them up ever so slightly. And I will try to get that one in there. I realised yesterday that I forgot some pink on this one as well, on the inside chest mouth part. It does need a little bit of pink in there just to bring out that bit. Okay, so it's just tail. Do I have enough paint on here? I've got a teeny bit. It might be enough. Let's give it a go. You know, it's not going to be enough. What were we on? We were on Flash Kits, right? Yeah, Flash Kits yellow was the one we were on. Whoop. Ah, I've inadvertently painted this into the Uriel, so this yellow is going to be different. Hang on, I've made a mistake there. I need the Flash Kits, but I put it in the wrong pile. No, and I think if you start thinking in terms of mini... Ah, Adam. Hello, Adam. A new question. Okay, so yes, there is. There has been some recent developments with other game systems, yeah. So someone's put me onto A Song of Ice and Fire. That one interests me. But I just couldn't meet the entry. It was quite a high bar of entry to start playing, and I was like, I do like these figures, but this is quite a lot to spend on a game system that I'm not sure I'm going to like. So Song of Ice and Fire was one, and that was a while back. But then recently, someone mentioned Bolt Action, and I'm not super keen on the figures, but then I thought, well, hang on, I could proxy in something and play Bolt Action. Although the scale, I was thinking of using Revel Kits, but Revel Kits is 172 and Bolt Action is 156 scales. So, but then I thought if we just scaled it up to 172, 1/72, then maybe that would work. And then the other one is, I'm getting a lot of mention about D&D, and I'm starting to think, well, maybe I would like to do something with that. At this point, I think I would paint other models. I've been leaning towards the Aliens one. There's some models in the Aliens one that I like the look of, and I'd quite like to paint one or two of those. So yeah, there is other model kits. I have all of this already. So at the moment, yeah, it's Warhammer, but I'm definitely not opposed to painting other stuff. But yeah, also, yeah, mini a session. Yeah, you can't start thinking in those terms because I think you're going to force it. And I think if you force it, that's a bad idea. So yeah, the back still hasn't come together, but the front, maybe it's the proportion of yellow. Maybe that's it. Let's do the pink. So I need to go for the right. I know I've had some real trouble with this Fulgrim pink. Blades in the Dark, Mantic Games. What I like about them is you can play the tabletop games without need of store, like Warhammer. Yeah, okay. What's this Dark Mantic Games? Interesting. But yeah, I think there's definitely room for other game types. I think it's a case of finding something that's fun, or that you can get some fun with it. I like the idea of jumping in and jumping out on games. So what I'm currently working towards is any working game system of Warhammer. I'm just kind of like collecting all editions, all rules. And the idea is to eventually learn a rule set. At the moment, I think Necromunda and Kill Team might be the front runners. But both of them need terrain, so I don't know how exactly that would work. But I think there might be something in it. I just we're very early days. The first step is to make this stream and feel like it's just any other day, you know. And I'm still getting. It didn't happen yesterday, but I'm still getting those little prangs of self-awareness. I'm not quite switching off just yet, but I would love to stream playing the games. I'd love to do that, and then like people in chat could have some input as to what moves get made. I kind of something about that I like. But I need to find people like me who don't necessarily know the rules, or people who know the rules and are willing to help out. So I'm just going with the tiniest amounts in here, just to, because if you go too much with this pink, it really does overpower. I'm going to try and do just a little bit of that edge, just ever so slightly. Bring that out, and that worked really well. Let's do the same on the other side. So there's that bit there, and then that was a bit much, but then just ever so slightly. There we go. That's all it's going to need, just to bring it off nothing. You know, that is. I don't want to put any more in there. That is more than enough. So I took, yeah, that's. Do I want to put a tiny bit on the eye scar? I think I kind of want to. I think I want to kind of put just a little bit, tiny bit there, just on that edge. Just a tiny bit, just to bring that out a little bit. And I just kind of want to go up into that bit there. Can I get away with this? Yeah, I did. Cool, there we go. Such a squiffy face, but we made a real little bit out of that. So we're 1 yellow and a highlight. That's we should carry on with this one. Get this one done. 1 yellow and a highlight, easy. We can get that finished. With bolt action, I was expecting, I don't know. Some of the models look really good, but some of them look very, like they look off. They look like they're really old models. Is bolt action a old game system? Is that what it is? Is that the problem? It's an old game system? I don't know. Maybe it is. So, Arcane Eye, I've actually queued up a load of models that have defeated me. One of them is this. This killer can defeated me. I don't know where I'm going with it. Something about it feels off. Painted this ages ago, but I haven't quite managed to figure out what to do with that one. That's one of the ones that beat me. There are others all dotted around here. I went to the effort of finding the librarian as well. This guy really intimidates me. I don't know how to paint this one. I wanted to do glowing effect because it feels like there's loads of bits that you can do it, but I can't paint glow effect. It just comes out like egg. So I love this guy, but I'm just stuck with what to do. I might have to jump in on that. But today I'm going to decide ahead for this guy. Maybe I'll do that now. So I bought some bits boxes, and I noticed that in here there's a few heads. Or is this the corn one? So it's just some guy's random pack of bits. There's corn heads. Was the Space Marine head in here? No, this is all corn bits. So the Space Marine heads are in one of those boxes. But I do have one. I know that for a fact. Let's have a look. I feel like we want to bring this guy to life. Let's see in here. No. Oh wait, there's a Space Marine head here. What do we think to this one? We could just go with this one. This blue one. Let's test it. So it would look a little bit like that. Ignore the pin, it won't go in, but just that was, it'd look a little bit like that. Is that too generic? Maybe it is. I noticed there's some fancier heads. Am I getting sidetracked here? Maybe a little bit. I'm sure they're here. I'm getting sidetracked. Let's continue with the yellows. But anyway, yeah, so I'm open to suggestions for a head for this guy. Because I think the body's amazing. But I need a head. So that's another one. This servitor I kit bashed has also beat me. I don't know what to do with his head. I like the model, but I don't know how to finish the head. And also I've got a little bit of gap in the armour there. But let's need something for the back. I don't know what to do with the head for this servitor, but I really like the model. So yeah, that's the toughie. The head looks good, so maybe we should just go with that one. I'm pretty sure I've got some others, but the problem is this. So can you see this box thing? So this is another thing that I bought. So it's like these 12 boxes, and it's just got the guy's random bits and pieces in. So I'm not sure which one it's in, or I certainly haven't organised it. So it's a little bit of a pain to figure that one out. Right, we're on Phalanx, the last yellow before dawn. But yeah, I really want to get ahead on that one because, like I say, I think it's a fantastic model. It just had like just a normal head though, like just a face, and I was like, I don't want to do faces. I'm not at faces. I'm gonna have to go with my Ogre Kingdoms army to get faces going, and then practice on the bigger faces, and then go from there. I can't just jump straight into. Why can't I even see that? I can't even see that. That doesn't even feel that there's a big difference. Oh, there is a difference. It's just I'm gonna highlight with the Dawn, I think. It's got to be just the tiniest edge because there's 4 yellows on here, so it's just got to be just a little bit before edge highlights. That's all. Just the ever so slight ends. It is coming on. You can see it's coming on. It's really making that yellow jump out now. Just ever so slightly. A little bit of bleed there. So this is all but highlight, frankly, this bit. Yeah, I got a little bit of bleed in there though. I want to get that out. There we go. Now the issue is the brush is a bit wet, but I'm fine with that. Let's try and work our way down as well. Tiny bit of yellow for you. Tiny bit of yellow for you. And then we have to... This bit still hasn't come together, has it? There's something here that is not come together. It's the streakiness of it. It's the same point. It's the same point, isn't it? I got the same feeling at the same point. Something isn't right on this bit. But then again, it went away. It went away shortly after, so let's just speed through it. And I just went over a detail there. Oh well, it's gone now. I'll just try and bring it back up with a highlight. Just a smidge. Maybe if I just put a bit more on there, just to bring up that yellow, then it will please me. Hey Master, welcome back, bud. What are you up to? Were you getting No Man's Sky? Because like I said, I can't guarantee that we're playing it right away. Waiting on Vic. Well, I mean, we don't have to wait on Schmitters and Vic, to be honest, if enough people have it. But I won't be able to get on today. And if this streaming really does become my new obsession, then we have to definitely try and find a point. Oh, well, what chocolate did you go for? Out of interest. I don't know. Maybe 4 yellows is excessive. Maybe I don't need 4 yellows. But oh no, actually it will look good once the highlights are on. Just teeny bit, teeny bit. Strange that I'm second guessing myself at this point. Google how many flavors of Kit Kat are in Japan. I think you'll be more than a little bit amused with just how many there are. Yeah, Kit Kat flavors Japan. I feel a little bit low energy. I think it's been a long day. I feel a little bit deflated. Ever so slightly. 4 yellows was the way to go, especially on these longer parts. You can really bring out the ends. Right, claws and spikes. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of flavors because apparently it sounds like a Japanese phrase or something that's like means good fortune or good luck. So Kit Kat's like crazy popular in Japan. Crazy popular. I think it's something like Gitsukato or something like that. Like very close to Kit Kat. So that's a nice happy accident for them. Oh, hey, look, I haven't done any of the yellows on these inside shoulder pads. So I'm just going to cut a corner here and just do the one yellow and put it on quite thick and just do it in a way that no one notices. I mean, you'd only notice it if you're looking for it, you know what I mean? You wouldn't think twice. You'd think, oh, that's all deliberate. There you go. So you wouldn't think twice. Yeah, you can see that difference between 2 layers and 4. There's definitely a difference in how good it looks. You can see it's quite a jump on those two. Do I like technical games? What do we mean by technical game? You mean complicated? Or is that a genre of game that I just don't know? Something like Space Engineers that are more complex. Well, I mean, you mean like actually like programming? I don't know. What do you mean by technical? Can you give me some examples? I'm curious now. I don't think I do, but I am curious to know what would constitute a technical game. Beautiful. Right, edge highlights. And we're good. Stationeers. No. What makes it more complex than Space Engineers? Dare I ask? And do I have the time to learn a new game is the question. Like, do I have that in me? Not sure I do. Stationeers. What's the premise? More complicated Space Engineers? Is that the gist of it? Is that what we're thinking? Okay, so I need some Dawn. Now the trouble with Dawn is it's one of those paints that's gone really manky. So I need to try and get some pigment out as well as... I mean, it's got so much water in there. I need to try and get something out of it. I don't need that much, but... it's really bad condition. It's a lot less light than I thought as well. Okay, there's a splodge. I think that will be more than enough. Let's try and put in what we don't need. There we go. I'm not adverse to it, you know? Like, I'm not adverse to a game of that level. I mean, it depends on how intuitive the build system is, frankly. Right, edge highlighting. Wish me luck, guys. Last time I did edge highlighting with Dawn, it became just like another layer. But I am going to try and stick to it with edge highlights. Here we go. Keep talking whilst I go. It's really watery. That is definitely making life a little harder for me. Whoop. And we're just going to go ahead and do all of these edges on the side. It's got to be tiny amounts. It can't be a lot at all. Manufacturing agricultural gravitational systems require the thought management of the times. This is just copy and pasting. The game presents a variety of science-based survival problems. I mean, I'm not against it. How much is it? How much is it, first of all? Does it have a stable multiplayer? These are important questions. Whoop. Wow. Have I spent too long on this guy? Have I got carried away with... Oh, that's a pretty ugly highlight I just did. Are we seeing that? Is that popping? Should I have gone with a white? Is that standing out enough? Because normally I go super bright with highlights. Okay. Yeah, I'm not dropping 27 on a game that not only do I have to learn, but I don't have a lot of time, and I'm kind of committing the time to the painting at the moment. I don't know, 27. You'd be playing it though, so there's that bonus. Is it a game that you feel you're going to play for longer? Like, or is it just going to be picked up and put down sort of thing? That's another big question. Because I don't just have $30 rocking around. I've actually stopped buying games, believe it or not. How do we feel about those highlights? I think a little bit will do, yeah. I think if you don't lose track of where you're going, I think it's all right. Ooh, that one went on well. And I like doing what I just did there, which is edge highlighting, edge not edge, which is just where I've left gaps in the yellows. I like doing stuff like that because that's technically freehand, right? You know, that's freehand painting, right? I mean, arguably all painting is freehand, but I'm doodling a design of the shell on there, and then see that bit? Yeah, I think that's worked out quite well actually. Okay, I'm happy with Dawn. We're sticking with Dawn as the edge highlight. Okay. Stationeers on Steam, right? Yeah, you said because it's on a Steam sale, so okay, let's just do this side. You know what, as well, once I've done these edge highlights, this guy's done. Just a base. But I think we could refine this process to make it more rank and file friendly. Yeah, time intensive isn't so good. I've been having to combine hobbies, being quite time poor. Like, I justify being on here now as a stream because I get to paint, I get social. So I'm having to combine my interests to be more economical with my time. Wow. That's a very skinny highlight on that head bit. So there's just a little bit on there. That bit there just needs a smidge. Oh, that worked out. It looks alright. I'm used to the white, but I think the dawn's okay if you don't go too bonkers with it. Tiny bit, tiny bit. So then just literally a dab on the end for these ones. I'm not doing too much. I'm just doing that, just the very ends. I'm not even going to worry about doing like 360 on that. I'm just going to do a dot on the surface that I can see. I'm not going to go underneath with this. I'm just going to do a tiny bit. The chest, the terrible chest, could use a token highlight. That is really fiddly to get right there. But again, synthetic brush helped me out there. Can I just get the one underneath? Wow. Oh, that was great. I should have made that a challenge because I did it from a funky angle as well. That's worth a like alone. No, don't give me a like. I just dipped my brush in the wrong yellow. So just that. No, I've already done those ones. This one again, just I'm going to go along the talon. Let's see if I can get this right first time. Hey, yeah, that's good enough. Oh, that's a bit thick. Ah, that's okay. I might put a tiny bit here. Just ever so slightly on the end. If I've done it there, I'll do it here. Ever so slight. And then go in there with an edge. And then just this little tail, which I think is amazing, by the way. These tails are really, really good. I like these a lot. We lost one. Did we lose Master or did we lose Arcani? We lost someone. I kind of felt like it was the point of you being able to say byes. Let's just do a tiny bit in there. Arcani. So Master felt, well, I've known Master absolutely years, so he might just come back. He's probably just finished his chocolate and he's snuffling for another snack. Oh, so I guess YouTube's just telling me Porky Pies, saying that there's only one person here. Maybe I just need to ignore that number altogether. Maybe I need to cover that number up with a bit of sticker. Yeah, maybe I need to cover that up. Maybe I am fixating too much on it. I am definitely looking at it too much. And then just tiny bit on these. Some. Just ever so slightly. Guys, we're done. It's not accurate, is it? It's not accurate, without a doubt. We are done. I want to ask a question. How do we feel about that dark patch in the middle of the forehead? How do we feel about that? The tongue is also not done. I've got a little leftover pink, but it's the awfully bright pink. I'm gonna first see if it's wet. I'm just gonna put a little token bit on the tongue because it's looking a little bit patchy. Just oh, it's not a tongue. It's like a tube, like some kind of proboscis. Just a tiny bit, just so it's not just ink. All right, we're done. We are done. That is... I'm pretty pleased with it. Oh, wait, hang on a second. No, I'm not done. I haven't edged highlighted any of the back. I'm not done. The whole back thing, the thing that caused all the indecision, I haven't done it. So, I'm just totally making up that we're finished there. Here we go. Let's finally make this one okay. Oh, there's a lot of paint on that brush. Across we go, and then there, there, there. Whilst I'm at this angle, I'm going to do the bottom edge of all of these. There, there. Ooh. Now the trouble with highlighting with Rogel Dawn Yellow is that it is so watery, and I don't like that. But with the watery, it shouldn't look lumpy at all going on. So now I need to go in and do these artificial edges that I created. Whoop. Whoop. There we go. Just in there. The wateriness of it is just making this really difficult. But that went on okay. This one is a little bit thick in that corner. And then these ones. It's just not enough pigment. I'm going to add a tiny bit of Corax White into this because it's just too watery. It's just too watery. I need a little bit more pigment of anything. Just and then ironically my Corax White is really watery. I just need a little bit of something. It's a lot different now. It's still watery as hell. Oh man, but it's just going to look a little different. Let's see if I can. Let's see how this goes. Let's just not pretend. Let's just pretend I didn't change up the color. It's still watery. It's too different. It's way too different. Just get some Dawn. Why am I doing this midway at the very end? Why am I choosing now to experiment? Where's my Dawn? Where are you? You son of a bitch. Oh, there's a nice dog of pigment. Give me that. Oh, what am I doing? Now I've just... Table. Why are you doing this at the very end? Look how much paint's on the end of that brush. You should never go all the way up to the bristles. Just cover up that mistake. Don't change the highlights at the very end. Just... I'm overthinking it. I'm just going to go for it. Just stop overthinking. Just put on your highlights. Okay, and then just do these three. 1, 2, 3. Actually, let's just go all the way down. And then done those. Do I want to put any up here? Yeah, I do. I want to put something in here, something there, just a little freehand edge. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've totally loaded that brush up like a stupid amount. If I finish this highlighting before it dries, I think I'll be fine. So if I just pick up the pace ever so slightly, I haven't fluffed one yet, so let's just get the back done. Realistically, we have This side almost done. I'm just going to go in and do these. These ones don't have so much detail. They just have to have a little, just a little bit to bring them out, help them stand out. But they get progressively jankier as I go down, so I'm not overly concerned about those ones. Oh, there's a hair on the end of the brush though. I thought these edge highlights would be quick, but for some reason, well, it's the mixing, isn't it? That's what threw me off. I think it's important to stay the course, because you saw how the indecision there cost me some time, and then right at the end as well, literally the last bit. Some of those highlights down the bottom are pretty thick, but I think that's fine. Right, so just these guys now, just these four pads here. Those ones look really good. Yeah, it really is. Dawn's tough because of the wateriness, but it's better. It's better than going with white. White jumps too hard, I feel. It's just the wateriness. Yeah, with by far, when it's more like an ink, because you need multiple coats, and it can run into recesses, which is exactly what you don't want. So it can be an absolute nightmare. But the trouble with Dawn is that it's like a really beautiful yellow. So you kind of let it off because it's hot. You know, like it's just such a nice yellow, and you want to work with it. Because you saw how the Corex went. It was like a grey yellow. It doesn't quite belong. Just two more lines here and here. 1, 2. We're done. We're totally done. I feel like the shell is a bit muddy yellow. It's not like vibrant, so you could probably, I think that maybe 4 yellows. I think of the 4 yellows you could probably lose, I would probably lose, oh that's Dawn, of these 3 I would probably lose this one, the darkest one, the Uriel. That was the first time we used it. I think I'd just go with these 2 to build it up, because if you look at this yellow, it's really like quite solid. So maybe that's the way to go. Oh, this one is highlighted in Corex white. It's got Corex white highlights. Can you see any of those? Let me turn it around to where there's one. You can see that it really jumps out on the back of the butt there. Really jumps out. But I think it's a case of live and learn. I'm all right with it. The back doesn't look, I don't know, something about the back. I don't know what it is, but we can figure it out together on the next one when we get round to it. So a little celebratory easy bit of painting. I'm going to do the base. I'll do some Abaddon around the lip ×2, and then we can put on the little Armageddon dust technical gumption. We could put, thanks Arcane, I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. I mean, I'm perfectly happy with it. I'm just nitpicking, like, for the future development. I am very happy with it too. Let's find that Space Marine head. I think I've got one somewhere in there that we could use. It would be nice to get a head on that guy. I have been thinking about what I want to spray paint next and what I want to get base coated. I wasn't going to, because normally when winter starts creeping in Finland, you just don't go outside and start using spray cans because of the temperatures involved. But I kind of want to base coat some more stuff to have some stuff to paint here. But it's just really nice to get, because it makes me think about the hobby. It's just, and I mean, in this past week alone, I've painted so much more than I would just on my own. So it's just, yeah, it's getting cold. Yeah, it's starting to get cold now. Today was a bit nippy. Yeah, it is starting to get cold here. There we go. Good. On the Susan with you. Boop. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. The further away you are from it as well, the better it looks. Right, Space Marine head whilst we're waiting for that paint to dry. There's a lot of yellow on the end of my synthetic brush. I am worried that I have fluffed it. Looks alright to me. It's still got its point. Seems alright. Okay, Space Marine head. Let's just look through these drawers one by one. Demon banner, demon arms. Demon arms will come in handy actually. I've got a couple of Chaos Spawn on the go. You can never have enough arms with Chaos Spawn. Well, that's a whole mix of things, but there's some heads in there. No Space Marine heads though. I love buying people's bits box. It's just like a little fun thing. Oh, this has got Orc resin samurai bits. I don't need those. No head. No heads. Chaos Warrior bits, that's cool. Oh hey, look! There's actually a bit of a Killer Can arm in here. That might actually come in handy. Dark Elder bits. I've actually got 4 torsos, Dark Elder torsos, and they look like they'd be good for emaciated human servitor models. I felt like they could be pretty promising. No. Maybe the Space Marine heads aren't in here. I could have swore I had one that had like a little... That's the Chaos bits. Nope, not in there. Okay, I don't know where they are. What should we do next? Here's another Killer Can. He fell off his base, but I wrote chomp on it. I did some rather terrible squares, and it says kick me on the back, but something about this doesn't... I remember when I was doing that orange on that cap, I was like, oh, that's so well wet blended. I love that. It's amazing. But something about it isn't quite right. It's missing a weapon there. I don't know. My orcs and my storm boys as well. These guys beat me. Something about this guy just doesn't feel right at all. I don't know what it is about him, but something is really off. However, I do have this Blade Guard veteran, and he's, you know, a little bit dated when I painted him, but he looks largely done. The sword, the base, I mean, the shield's a bit basic, but I mean, his shield itself could use a little bit of a touch up. Maybe that's what I could do. I'm going to touch that up. So we've gone for diagonal red, and it's grey in the middle. So if we just op the white in that centre bit, then we can think of painting some kind of emblem on there. So I think we can bring this guy up to par pretty easily. And if there's one, then I've definitely got 2 others. So if we just go as steady as we can, I could have used tape on this. I didn't have to freehand this bit. But as far as freehand goes, that's pretty straight. Yeah, that's fine. Right, let's get a bit of red. It might merge a little bit on the line, but I'm alright with that. So a little bit of Evil Suns. Touch up that red. What I'll do is, if we bring this one up to par, then we can search for his buddies. So this is model's a bit dusty. I don't know if you can see, but there's hairs getting caught up in this. I didn't wash this one before because they sit in a cupboard so long. Yeah, it's a bit of fluff. But if we just bring that up ever so slightly. I mean, that would probably be a great opportunity to test out a transfer, wouldn't it, really? That would probably be the ideal. Sword needs doing, but I'm just going to do that with silver, by the looks of it. Yeah, silver. I'll just put some silver on it. Lead belcher, there you are. But see that, I mean, this was during a part where like I'd get almost completed with a model and then I'd like just panic because I'd be like, oh, I've put so much time in this. What if I make a mistake? What if I start highlighting in a different color right at the end? You know? And so then I don't finish it. And like, as you say, like these guys they are done. Like they're perfectly passable. I mean, I think they're painted a bit dark, personally. I think they could benefit with a bit of brightness, but otherwise I think we're all right. So I might track down the other two, because apparently these guys are a strong unit on the tabletop, apparently. Not that that should have any bearing on it, but yeah. So I mean, the sword's up, the shield's up. I could just leave the shield like that. This bit's a little clunky here, but I mean, do I want to go over the lip with silver? No. This is brazen brass, so I could put a bit of gold on it. Or we just... I think we leave him at that. Let's use some black on the base. Let's bring him up to speed as well. We can base him to get some stuff completed, you know? I'm going to do that. It's nice to get something completed, I think. Although this black is super watery. I've got the Martian mud for the base, so yeah, I will do that, and then that will cure overnight, and then it will join my marine army as based and complete, and it can live in the cabinet rather than a Turkish yogurt pot in the cupboard. Yeah, you see, it's not adhering. Maybe I sprayed it not enough. Okay, well, on you go. Oh, there we go. All right, so there's that. What else do we have at this point? I'm starting to think. Now we're coming up to the 2 hours. Do we make this a 2-hour one, or do we He-Man it on? Like, what do you think? What should I do? Should I continue? Should I get myself a drink? Can we carry on with something? It's having finished something is what it is. This guy's base could be done. I could do this guy's base. I'm going to put a coat of black around the base of this guy, even though it is already really black, but we might as well as we have it. So let's do that. I mean, he was base coated in black, but you can see that there's a bit of grey on it. I wasn't too picky about having my models nearby when I sprayed the other ones, so that's why it's got this like ghosty bit. I don't know, Arcane Eye. I don't know. I'm not sure at the moment. I kind of want to continue. That's what my gut's telling me, is to carry on. So maybe we could just carry on, me and you. Maybe I should just do that. That's done. Tyranny base, are you ready for some more? Yeah, you look like you're ready. I say let's just carry on just doing bits and bobs and see how we feel. Just do whatever we decide on, and then go from there, I think. I'm happy to show you. Well, I've already shown you quite a few of the models actually that beat me. I'd really like that marine head, but I don't want to spend time searching. But I do think I've got a head for that guy. Yeah, you have been here from the get-go. Because when you think about it, it used to look like this. That's how it looked like. It's quite a difference from start to finish. You know, like it's all the steps. Those spiky elbow spikes grabbed me. I couldn't put it down. I've got to be a little bit careful talking when I'm holding a brush of Venom Black and picking stuff up, because I could just dollop a bit on by accident. Okay. Whoop. But yeah, it is quite a difference, isn't it? And the thing is, like, the majority of the painting you do is first coat flesh, first coat shell, you know? Like that Tau Ochre and the Badaboff blue, they're the main ones, you know? You get those on, and then it's just strategic dabs from that point on. So, and I think like I could have done it quicker if I wasn't chatting as well, but at the same time, it wasn't like super lengthy to get one done, and you only have 3 of them as well. So what, we probably spent about, realistically, 3.5 hours maybe on him. That's not awful for what we got out of it, because it's quite a chunky model, you know, it's not small, so I think it's quite economical. And when you think about it, one of those 3.5 hours, that's more than a movie, and I got them for €20, so 3 times them being painted, like that's quite good value for money as far as entertainment is concerned. And you get that thing at the end, you know, and you can sit and look at that. That's what I really do like about models, is that you get something at the end of it. I'm totally sold on this Votan head thing. I'm totally so okay with that being their heads. I love the idea that the little robot's kicking about in 40k. You know what? Yeah. And not only, it would have been well spent even if I was just painting it on my own, but the fact that I combined it with the stream and we got to chat as well, like to have that social element, it's just a complete winner. I really do think that. So it is really nice. Did you happen to go on the Discord? Remember I was talking about the denim cloak on my Terminator Lord? The same Terminator Lord, you know, Tybriel the Relentless, do you remember him being mentioned? The cloak on it is so well done. It's like, I wish I didn't show the denim cloak on mine, because the cloak he's done, it's got a little emblem on it, and it's on the Discord. If you want to look, there's a link on this stream. You can click that. Did you see it? Did you see Tabriel the Relentless's cloak? Dear God, so good. I was like, meh. I've really got to up my cloak game. But the emblem as well, it was whereas you've seen the photos, so it doesn't go to waste, I wrote a list of things on there that I really liked, right? So with paint games, right, the cat-made marine he was talking about was actually quite good. I thought it was going to be dog shit. In my mind, I just thought it was going to be dog shit. It sounded like a terrible idea, but something about it really works. I was happily surprised when I saw it. I was like, yeah, that actually looks quite good. I was totally wrong. I don't know why I thought it was going to be terrible, but I didn't feel confident about it. Tabriel, not only was Tabriel's cloak really good, but did you see the Screamer Killer head on the base? How he did that heat effect on it? That just really impressed me as well. Brutal That Krieg Guardsman he painted. I've just wrote Yum. I thought that looked fantastic. It looked really, really good. And then the Necron Warriors Firebase, and then the double head lion cloak looked amazing as well. And I'm gonna give a special mention to the Rainbow Mohawk, which I thought was amazing as well. But yeah, a lot of really good painting. A lot of stuff I wouldn't have even considered. So I'm really happy that they posted those actually, because yeah, but the cat made one, yeah, really, like, it's well done. Like, I don't think it's a bad photo. I think it's like not a low quality photo that hides the mistakes. I think it is just genuinely good. So I'm rather impressed. I was kind of hoping that they'd be on here today so I could tell them, but they weren't. What about painting challenges? Should we do some bloody difficult highlight bits? Or, right, hang on, I'm going to make myself a coffee, right? So, let me put a box. Let me put something right in front of the camera, and maybe you can help me with suggestions, right? So, I have these 3 Storm Boys, and they've plagued me from the get-go. There's another bits box here. Hang on. There's another bits box here. I was looking for a box, and I found another bits box. Maybe there's a marine head in here. Ah, forget that about the Storm Boys. Let me have a look in this box. There's elder bits, but look, this is stuff I love. I just love buying just random little boxes. There's elder weapons, orc heads. What is that? What's that? It's like an armored torso, but it's got like these. What is that? Oh, there's an amazing hand in here. Look at that hand. That's an amazing hand. That is. No, it's not Tyramid. It's got like a lip to it. It might be Zeech, maybe. Could be Zeech. I feel like these could be orc helmets for snotlings, or for grot tanks. Oh, there's 2 of them as well. They could be a turret for a tank. Yeah, it's a Zeech creature of some sort. I've just seen a matching head with the same armor stuff on. And I found this guy. I don't know who this is. Who's that? Is that even Games Workshop? Thanks, Samuel. I'm struggling with it. If you've got any suggestions of what I could do with this, I don't know. I'm kind of stuck. I don't feel like it's orky enough. I don't know what to change on that one. But thanks, I appreciate that. Oh, I've got this. This is definitely not Games Workshop. That's some tank chassis. I feel like grot tanks. I think I've got 2 tank turrets there. Let me show you my grot tank. Okay, this is what I had for my idea. I've got it somewhere very nearby. So I bought an orc warplane that was kind of beat up, but I got it for super cheap. So I started like busting it into parts. And then I kind of got caught up on the idea of a grot tank. Now I've gone and mentioned it. I should always mention it once I found it. I don't have the tank to hand. It's somewhere. Blast, man. I've got to stop doing that. Bit uniform for an orc, yeah. But how would I go about making that less uniform? Should I just start painting different panels not yellow? Maybe. Should I just start doing that? Like taking a panel, part of it, and just painting it something other than yellow? And if so, what would be a good colour? What's purple represent with orcs? Red is speed. Purple is stealth, or is blue stealth, or is blue luck? I'm not sure. Yeah, I need it to be a little bit. I need it to be jarring, like it's been painted by an alien. But I'm just not sure how. I'm not sure where to go. All right, let's think about the killer can. I am going to go get myself a coffee. I won't be long. Hey, look at that bit. Is that from a tank? It is, isn't it? But I immediately thought orc, like chain winch kind of thing. But I think that's from a tank. Oh, a less exciting hand, kind of terrifying. Really long fingers. I think that's an old demon prince. Do you think gluing more bits onto it might be the way to go? Do you think maybe that would be the way? Maybe. What if I leave the yellow but then find more orky bits and spray paint them and then just stick them on? I don't know. If I feel like it needs to be more junky. I'll give you an example. Let me get my... Oh, I've done it again, haven't I? I've mentioned it before finding it. I've mentioned it before finding it again. Have I shown you my orc? I've done it again, haven't I? I've started talking up a model before actually having it to hand. It's in one of these, surely. Oh, yeah, here he is. Okay, so this is my only... I think I've shown you this already. So this is, I would say this guy's a bit more junky. This is my orc in mega armor. And I've added some extra bits and changed legs and stuff. I don't know if I've shown this before, but I know he's got 2 of the pincers. So what you can do is you can take this off and take the gun off, and you can whack it on here if you want to, or vice versa. You can change it to that one and have the gun on there instead. Whoop. Hang on a second, it does go. You can have it on like that, depending on what you particularly fancy. But this is kind of what I was going for, but I haven't been able to emulate it on a bigger scale. But it is a lot muckier, isn't it? It is a lot muckier. It's got the yellow, but what I've done is I've painted the patterns on additionally. So maybe that's the way I need to go. I'm just going to put the magnets back on. This is my go-to for magnetizing. Like, I know if it matches these positions, that I know that it's uniform magnetizing on the joints. So that's why he has the really long arm. But yeah, I think making it a bit more mucky. I think it's too clean. You're right. I think it's too clean. No, the magnets aren't melted. They are a combination. I don't know if you can see in there. It's green stuff, then magnet, and then a dab of super glue over the green stuff, and it adheres in. So yeah, so then it's magnetized. It's hard to get it right, but you can do it with a little drill bit. But yeah, I think maybe I need to go more like that. Thanks, YouTube citizen. Appreciate that. Hello. Welcome to leave me a like if you're enjoying yourself, you know. Don't want to sound a little bit too much like I'm begging, but those likes would be really nice. Let me show you another servitor, actually. So in the I actually got a few years ago, I got the 2 boxes of the Mechanicum Battle Force, which is like the troop transport, the 2 different types of robots, the bigger ones and the smaller ones, and then the Techno Thralls. And I was like, these thralls look too uniform. I need them to look a little bit more servitor-like. So if you look up Tech Thrall, you'll see what they look like. But then I kit bashed one, and this is my version of the Tech Thrall. So it's a little less human-looking. And he's got that big tube coming out of his head. So his brain's basically all that's going on there. And he's got this... I've mounted the gun up higher and shaved it down, took off the bayonet. But I really like servitors. I'm a huge fan of servitors, so I've kind of changed it up. I want kind of every one of them to look a little bit individual. Just like it's like, okay, human, clunk on these bits, clunk, 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 off you march. But I haven't done any more than this one. But now that the Kill Team servitors have released, I feel like these guys are the way to go with my Tech Thralls. But they're a bit fiddly to do, and I've got 40 of them. So to make 40 individuals is quite a... Maybe that would be a cool stream in itself. So, but and then I've got a kit bash demon here, which I've kind of got stuck. So it hasn't been green stuffed or anything, but I've got 2 arms coming out there, and I've started building up the torso. There's like the upside down bit of a horse head, but that's going to get covered up. And then that arm, and then I've got an arm coming out the back here, and then it's kind of spiny with the horse neck, which will get green stuffed in. But again, I stalled with this demon. Because I don't have... I don't have the right parts to complete the guy, so, but I've got that demon on the go. None of the original models that I was going to show, but oh wait, no, unless no, and then in here I've got just like a random pot of bits, but this is my Kit Bash Dark Angel. Well, not Kit Bash, but I just used some different parts of him. So he's going to be one of the guys going with the lion. He's just one of the Marines. But there's not too much that's exciting in there. This guy, I guess. But he's just the same guy with the storm shield that I had the spare, and I've just changed the head. So that's not really that exciting, is it, guys? I'm going to make a coffee, and then we can figure out what we can do. We can figure out what's next. But I'm going to just go grab a drink. I'll be right back. All right, guys? Wow. I won't be too long. I've got an idea. I've got an idea. I totally got it. So with the killer can, right? Let's think like an orc. What would an orc try and do? They might try and paint a big face on the front. So we could mask like a face and do that with it. Maybe we need to build it up. I think we're going to go with the killer can. Let's move this out of the way. So bear in mind the orc that we saw. So let's take this one, right, and let's so it's already got a face, but maybe we could put like some kind of tape on some kind of bigger face, maybe. Let's try. Let's take this this 3mm tape and see if we can't. Oh, there's not a lot of room, but we've got to do something, haven't we? We've got to change something up. Something's got to change. It's too clean. But at the time I was that's my first attempt at the yellow. So, do I have a pair of scissors to hand? I do. Fantastic. Let's just try and mark something out. Let's see what we can come up with. It's definitely too clean, without a doubt. So, if I just start maybe masking a bit off, we could maybe even do like orc camo, maybe, but it's not. It's like really bright. Maybe if we just leave this tape around, we can come up with something. Let's start with the face bit. If we just maybe just stick it on, but then press it in and see what we can get. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe we can figure something out here. Let's give it a go. I mean, at the moment, this guy is just living in a pot in a cupboard, so he's not. I mean, it's so much work that I've done on this, but at the same time, maybe we just need to give it a go. Let's see what we can come up with. I don't want to cake it too much in blue, but at the same time, we could maybe have the yellow poking out like they've tried to do a paint job on it. Maybe we could do that. I'm just going to pull that instead. So maybe if we go a little bit more here as well, and then we dab a bit out. No, well, we're going to figure it out together. You know, it might be terrible, it might work. So we've got some sectioned off parts there, right? So I'm going to take a bit of sponge if I've got a bit. If not, I'll use a brush. I'm going to use a brush. Let's pick a random colour. What do we think? Blue? Orcs think blue is lucky or stealthy. It's one of the two. I'm not sure which. I have an ultramarines contrast as well. So I've got ultramarine contrast that I've never used. So let's we've got that one. Let's find a blue. McCrag blue. There we go. Okay. Never used it. Let's go ahead and grab some of this and see what happens if we don't totally cover the yellow, but whack on a load of blue. Oh man. But I mean, like I said, it's not doing anything. It's just sitting in a cupboard. So unless it wants to forever live as an archaeological exhibit of a model that intimidated me into giving up on, or we figure something out. So I'm going to go ahead and just block out this section. So again, if it's an orc painting it, it's not going to do perfect, is it? It's not going to be spot on. So if we just do that, right? And then if we go ahead and do this bit, and then before it dries, we whip it off. But let's do another section. Let's go in and do... I knew you'd left for food. I had a feeling that was the case. Welcome back. Now the issue we have is dry time, so let's find another bit that's got a bit. So let's go in there as well. Alright, so we've done that. We don't want to go too uniform. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a bit of the... Oh, should I grab a bit of the contrast? Let's whip the tape off now. Let's just whip the tape off now before it dries and see if it's still... See how it makes us feel. That's a really clean line on the bottom there. That's not so good. Let's grab some tweezers. And also clean those brushes because they've been sitting in that water for a while. Well, I don't blame you. I went and got a coffee. Okay. I feel like that's a step in the right direction. Little bit of blue. Still see some of the yellow underneath. It looks like someone's come in and dabbed a bit of paint on. I think we've got something there. Now this blade arm is not done in the slightest, so yeah, it's definitely better, isn't it? It's definitely better. What I'll do is I'll mask it again and go on with, I mean, we could go on with a white maybe, but then I don't know. But this arm and this leg, it definitely needs something. So let's take a spool of the tape again and go again. That worked. Yeah, it's definitely better, isn't it? And then we can get some rusts on it, some metallics, and we can figure something else out. Maybe even dry brush it with a metallic and then ink it. So this arm is definitely the weakest bit. So what I'll do is, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to whack this on and then maybe using the same spool put it on across here as well, and maybe just op a little bit here to give us some options, and then add bits on. So if I cut it off there and then I just go like here, not even thinking too much about it, because I don't attribute orcs as really thinking things through too much, so the more random the better, really, I guess. So we just trim that off there, and then just some sections like here, in there like that, and then back across the arm, maybe even like that, and then trim it and do a couple of crossway bits. So if I just do here, and then, oh, that entire bit moved, that's unglued. And then maybe just like that. Maybe just like that there. Okay, let's patch in some of those and see what we get. I mean, I also feel like with that blue, I don't want to edge highlight it. If I'm going to go lighter with it, I'll sponge on something. But let's do this bit and see if we can't figure something out. So but again, leaving some of the yellow through. Let's go that bit. I've doubled up on that bit. That's going to be a lot of blue in there, but hey, you can't do the alternative on every single one. So let's move that down to there. And then we go this chunk, and then, well, I haven't really taped around here, but let's put a splodge in there around that bit and do this leg a little bit. Okay, let's whip the tape off, see what we get. That layer was definitely a little bit more watery. What I feel like doing is dabbing a different color, a different color on top of that blue as well. Maybe a tiny bit of blue on that scrap launcher. Question is, what's the third color? Do you think we should bring up the blue a little bit with more blue and just dab a bit on, or I definitely think okay, I'm totally open to suggestions. I'm totally open to suggestions on this. I will tape and paint the scrap launcher whilst we have what would be the most jarring colour, and also what's a colour that an orc would like to use? That's the question, really. So we're gonna mark this. They do like their black and white. They do like their black and white checkers. Maybe that's what we should do on this gun. We should do checkers, because we could do it with the tape, and if we do it sloppily, then that could work potentially. Maybe we should do checkers, but then again, if we're going to do checkers, maybe we want to do it on this arm, or we go and just do checkers here, or stripes. They do like stripes. They like their patterns. They do like their patterns, so maybe we should just go and do something like this, because they wouldn't have the neatest of stripes, but they do like their patterns. What about, oh, I don't know, what about, what could the checkers be? Because we can make stripes easy enough. I'll see you later, Master. I really appreciate you hanging out and talking to me when no one else was in the stream. That is absolute, like, A-star, super helpful. So I appreciate you chatting about your car. Thank you for taking the time to tell me about it. Yeah, it super duper helped me. Super duper helped me, that did. Thank you, Master. I really appreciate that. I will look up the game. Yeah, thanks, dude. That was a huge help, man. Thank you so much. I think we can get one more stripe on here. The question is the colour. What colour? We've got a lot of the blue on already. Mega Bonk. What's that? So, white and black, or something a little bit more. Okay, I'll look it up. Mega Bonk. I will have a look. Red and white. Red and white? Are we going red and white? I think we're going red and white. And what I think we should do is, before the paint's fully dried, put on the next row of stripes. That's what we should do. So we put on red. Yeah, I'll chat to you later, Master. Thanks again, bud. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Like, thank you for being here, bud. I really like that. Thank you. There we go. And then what we do is we'll whip those off. I want to see, you can see it in real time. We'll whip these off. And then go the other way with the strips, or whilst it's still a bit wet, and then we'll make it a little muckier. Or do we even need to? These stripes look pretty nice. Maybe a bit too clean, Maybe we should. I don't know. I quite like the stripes. I quite like them, but yum 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 yum. It needs something, doesn't it? Should we make it a bit muckier? Sponge some muck on it. We'll sponge some muck on it. Let's find something sufficiently mucky. That's corn red. No. Zandri dust. No. What about a little skag brown? Maybe we could do something with that. Or should we ink it? Should we ink it? Or should I stick with the checkers? Let's try the checkers. I don't know, I just feel like red, one arm blue is... Maybe that's not orky enough. If we go that way now. Oh, I don't know. I'm stuck. I've got the tape. I'm going to put it on. No, something feels off. I think maybe we should... I feel like that blue is very blue. I'm going to put the tape to one side. And I feel like I want to bring that blue up in a little bit. Like I want to whiten it a little bit. And then I'm going to paint on with the muck. So there's still a lot of paint on this brush, but I'm going to take some Corex white. And there's a little bit of red in it, but I'm going to stick with it, and I'm going to go on the blue, and I'm just going to add a little bit of splash of, if I can, a little bit of splash of white on there, just to break it up a little bit. Just because it's very blue, it's very uniform. And then I think we could definitely use some metallics on here and some inks to make it look a little bit muckier. And the idea is that the ink will influence the white differently to the blue. And again, oh yeah, there's a really blue bit in there. Just to help try and break it up ever so slightly. I kind of like it more now. I've spent a bit of time on it, but just a little bit here and there. Keep the stripes, but just... Okay, and I won't leave it relegated to the... I'll get a little bit on the yellow as well, just so that when I muck it up it will be a little bit different. And then what I'll do as well is I will do the same with the metallics and find anything that's metal and do the same. Well, I mean... It's changing, that's for sure. I'm going to take the metallic. I'm going to go with rust, I guess. So we have... I'm going to go with Balthasar Gold. And then I will do what I did with the white on the Balthasar Gold and give it a little bit of silver. And then that will go over with Null Oil. So let's do that. Yeah, because they are essentially junkers, aren't they? I feel like my orcs are very much like junk thugs. So let's go. Well, first things first, the scrap launcher needs a load of that. Oh, and I guess that horn is now scrappy as well. But I think I'm going to be a little bit more... I'm not going to care too much if it goes over. So just basically anything that I've painted grey, I think can just become rust to a certain extent. That eye I want to be a lens, but that bit is meant to be rusty. The saw blade and the teeth for sure. I am relying on the ink to do a lot here on this, and I think it will work out. So anywhere where I've gone, oh no, that's not right, anywhere where there's a pipe or all of this, for example, all of this, okay, and then we'll let that dry a little bit. Maybe not enough. I think we'll see. Right, so I'm going to have to let that dry, that dry a bit, because if I now ink that, it will just all bleed into one, and I think it will just look really bad. I think it will just be terrible. So I think I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Well, one thing's for sure, it's looking a little bit more crummy, but I think we let it dry. I think we let that dry. Oh, hang on, there's just ever so slightly a bit on the top of the pipe that I missed, so I'm just going to do that bit. Yeah, I think it's starting to look a little bit more like the big guy that I did. I think they're starting to look a little bit more similar, but I think inks are really going to help. Yeah, the uniform yellow was too much, wasn't it? I think it's because this was one of my very first yellows, and I was like, oh, it looks so good, I'm doing so well. But I think it has to be more junky. I already like it more like this, which is already a win. But I think a dry brush of silver, which could, to be honest, I could just go on with a dry brush of silver now, but what I'll do is I'll do a dry brush of silver with this and see if I can just get some broad strokes on. So if I just get what's left in the lid on this and just get rid of a lot of it and just a few broad strokes on it, I think that would really help with the edges. So I'm just going to, just so it picks up on the edges to imply that the paint is chipped. Not too much, just a little bit to imply weathering. I can't really see it picking up, but I know it's clinging to some edges, so like the paint's chipped off, you know, just ever so slightly. Maybe a little bit more on the back. Yeah, you can't even really see it, but it's there. It's there. Okay. Yeah, good. Now we definitely let it dry. Definitely let that dry. There's some pretty big metallic areas. I already really like it. I already like it way more than the other one. And then we still have the inks. So I think that I'll go with the old Seprin Terra and the Agrax Earthshade and just kind of splodge it on quite liberally. Yeah, I think so too. I think it was definitely too neat. It was too neat. Yeah, we're going great guns, aren't we? We've definitely, yeah, we've got that. We got those bases done. We got the. I think that things are only going to speed up as well. I feel like I've got a bit of a knack. We worked on the chaplain as well. And I'm not adverse to what I paint at all. I've got no issue with what I paint. I'm very keen to get stuff game ready, but I'm not willing to rush it to get it there. But I do like painting organically, like what I fancy doing. Like, to be honest, remember at 1:45 I was thinking, oh, I'm thinking of stopping, and now we've got some great guns going and we've tried to fluke something and we're getting somewhere and we're trying to experience something new, and I'm putting myself out there with painting it, but I'm not doing it on my own. It's just, oh, I love it. The worst one is when you fail, but you can always paint strip, you can always repaint. But I do like it a lot more just seeing it there with the others. Maybe that's what the Storm Boys are missing. And that tape came in really handy, and it took no time at all to do. And you don't have to be super accurate with it. That's the good thing about orcs. They're like Nurgle, aren't they? That you can get away with an awful lot. Yeah. Oh, I feel kind of alive now after doing that with the orc. It was a bit risky because I spent ages painting it, and it could have gone really wrong. Yeah, you can always strip the paint, but I do have to let him dry. But definitely feels a little bit more like the other one. This arm's still pretty weak, but after inks, maybe we could quit while we're ahead. I don't know. Call it done. Maybe. Ah, man, that's how orcs should be. Okay, let's grab something else to paint. What should we... should I do the bases? I could do the next coat on the bases. I'll probably do that, actually. I'm going to leave the chunky brush in there, in that water, because I think that's going to need a bit of a clean. But yeah, I mean, we've been doing a lot of edge highlighting, haven't we, in the streams? I've been doing a lot of really fiddly, high stress, potentially high stress moves. So I think it's quite nice just to paint the orc and have a bit of, get a bit carried away with it and just be a bit more relaxed with it. So it's definitely like, yeah, it's definitely rekindled my interest in that model, which is nice. Let's do the bases while we wait. And the good thing is, if it does work, then, you know, we've both seen it and we both know it, and we can both take a mental note of it, and then we can use those ideas in the future. And I just feel like it does a little bit beat doing tutorials, like watching tutorials. I feel like this has got a different element to watching a tutorial. Not that tutorials are bad, but I don't necessarily have a time to sit down and watch a video, and I'm trying to stay away from YouTube ads as well. So it's like, I don't know. Watching pre-records, for me, I like this more because I'm talking it through with someone in real time. I don't know. There's something I don't know what it is, but there's something about painting in real time and figuring it out is more fun than me sitting passively watching a video. There's something, you know, because I guess there's an element of risk. We celebrate the losses. We celebrate the fails and the breakthroughs. Maybe there's a possibility of it fluffing up. Like when I was doing the scrambled egg laser 2 days ago, I was like, "Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing?" But then since then, we've had some successes. So I feel like I'm going to move into the gameplay as well. I feel like that's where we're going to move into. I kind of wanna. So it's a kill team and a necromunda team. I have to figure something out. I've got Secundas coming my way. I've got kill team Typhon, but I have to justify opening those boxes because if I open them, I'm not going to be able to resell them, that's for sure. But I need to find a reason to open them. That's what I need to do. There's exactly that. There's more than one way to do it. And for me, entertainment, in like enjoying it, plays a large factor. Like I like to enjoy what I'm doing. But again, I feel like I've already progressed loads painting every day. And just think about how it's going to be in 2 months' time. If I stick at it and it's still fun, which I don't see it not being, then think of the progress and the different techniques we've picked up along the way. I think there's definitely something in this. I feel it when I'm not on. I'm like, oh yeah, that's how I want to paint from now on. There's just something really. Can you tell with how I sound when I'm talking about it? How I sound like it's. There's something better about doing it this way that appeals to me on some level. I don't know what it is, but there's something, and I've never been quite good at explaining myself, but there's something in it. That base, Orc, Blade Guard guy. Is it Blade Guard Veteran? I think he's a Blade Guard Veteran. Alright, so we just wait a little bit. What else can we grab out? What other models? I still don't know about this guy. It's fun. Like, like sit anyone anywhere without a phone for this period of time, and it's just there's something in it. I don't know what it is, but it's really nice. And just painting that killer can has really changed. Yeah, really perked me up. So this guy, I don't even know where to start. I want to do like light effect in all the recesses, and I think that book on the back is amazing. But this is really pushing. I don't know how to do the effect, and I don't want to have Scrambled Egg Librarian. I know it's from the Leviathan box, and there's probably loads of these kicking about, but I want to get him right, or as right as I can. Now, Librarians are typically blue, so there's that, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. I was thinking of maybe like painting certain panels gold, and then having like a lot of gold and a lot of blue, but I don't know. That one's a real stressy, because I don't know where even to start. But he's still a nice model. What else could we go with? We've got the old Chaos Demons, but we've been working on them every stream. Do I want to pick one of those up? We've got this guy here. He's hanging out. Do you need some... he's got the gold, so he needs some null oil on his weapons. So let's null oil him when we null oil the can. But as I've got some black, I will do his base. Let's just whack what little black we have left there on here. Oh, it's nothing, isn't it? It's nothing. But I'm kind of committed now. I'm gonna grab a bit more out. I think it's natural to feel a little deflated when I didn't think I would, but I think it's natural to feel a little deflated because of how awesome last week was. But I'm really happy that I've persevered and not just bailed. Because if I had stopped at the 2-hour mark, we wouldn't have had any of that with the killer can. It just wouldn't have been something we got to experience. It would have just ended on a rather poopy note, and then tomorrow's stream would have been harder to start up. But now we got the killer can, I feel like, yeah. So now, even regardless of how this stream ends now, we got that moment, so that's like, yeah, that's like a big plus. How long should we give that paint? I still think it's going to need a little bit longer. I ain't at the point where I'm cracking out a hairdryer in streams, but what else could we look at? So I've just painted the bases of all those. I need to paint, I'm going to paint actual Votan colours. So this guy also defeated me. This is one of the free minis. I was going to go with orange armour, but the orange just looks horrible. But I think I'm going to go... I think I want to go full Votan colours. I want to get some Votan. I like dwarves, and I've got like Age of Sigmar dwarves, loads of them, and I want to press gang them into the squads and have them more squat orientated because I've got squat rules in my old rules for Rogue Trader. So it's like some of the units in Rogue Trader are in the Votan army, like the Mole Mortar, for example. That's one of them. So, but yeah, I think overall, considering not even that, but the short space of time, that there's been no technical issues, that we've only had one stream that went peak tong. It's I think it's really good. I think where we're at is really good. And again, Arcanite, like, again, you've come through, and you're chatting in the stream, and that is, yeah, like I say, you hit that 0, you just fall apart. I kind of want to start this now. Where did I start dry brushing first? It still feels a little tacky, to the touch. I think we're going to have to still wait a little bit on that. But yeah, the time zones are similar. What? Wait, you're Sweden, right? Were you Sweden? I think you're Sweden. So are you 1 hour behind me? Are you GMT +1 or are you GMT +2? This is where you're neither. I've got it completely. Hungary. Yeah, completely wrong. What time zone are you? GMT +1. Okay, so you're an hour behind me. What time are we at now? So we're at 10 o'clock. I'm going to stay on. I'm just going to stay on, I think. Let's find something else. What could we have a tinker with? I would really like to get... I think I'm going to have to base coat some models as well. Oh, I just noticed the Susan's had a bit of an issue there. Maybe we could fix this guy. Although I need the Votan colour scheme. That's the issue. This is another orc as well that I'm not sure of. He's got like a little face on the rocket that at the time I was super pleased with, and he's got the shoulder pad, but again, feels too uniform. You can see it's back when I was doing the yellow. I'm just not sure about that. I'm not sure what to do. We haven't done any work on the Terminators today. Should we grab out a Terminator? This guy's not looking terribly progressed. Unfortunately, guys, I have to go. I just got a message. My daughter has woken up and she's asking for her dad, so I'm gonna have to go and be the good parent. So I'm not going to do any more work on that killer can. We'll come back to it in the next stream. But yeah, I've got to go look after the poor little thing. She's only 3. She needs her dad. I'll speak to you later, guys. Thanks again so much. I will speak to you soon. All right, bye, guys.